And welcome back. We're here at the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, 17th Annual Leadership Institute. And we're with Mr. Anthony Holloman, Fort Valley State University. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Mr. Ray, for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in what capacity do you serve Fort Valley State?
I'm Vice President for University Advancement and Executive Director of the University Foundation. So I'm the university's fundraiser.
That's right. You're the money man. How to make it happen and get things done. Let's talk about that. Oftentimes, that's where we really, everybody, this day and time we live in right now, whether you're a PWI or HBCU, PBI, whoever you are, Chancellor, some would say, your good friend, our good mutual friend, Mel Shaw would say, the Chancellor, the President, 90% of his time has got to be involved in working towards raising that money. What do you say about that?
That's absolutely correct. I'm very fortunate. My president at Fort Valley State, Dr. Paul Jones, is very involved in our fundraising efforts. You know, when you're asking individuals to commit resources, major gifts, estates to the university, they want to hear from the president. They
That's
want to be
right.
assured that their investment, that you're going to be good stewards of their investment. And so
Right.
every university needs the fundraising, especially HBCUs, because our endowments are much smaller than endowments at major universities, and that's what allows you to sustain yourselves in economic downturns when your enrollment fluctuates.
What are some of the strategies or tips that you would share with us that we should give consideration to, first of all, in our efforts to get our alumni giving rates up? And we know that, and unfortunately, a lot of times we're in the single digits. And what are some of the things that are fundamental to growing our alumni giving rate?
I think we have to diversify the way we communicate with our alumni. We've traditionally sent mail appeals, and we've mailed appeals once or twice a year, but I think we have to use every means possible to us. That comes from electronic means, from cell phones to emails. We still have to do snail mail, but we also should do phone-a-thons. We should try to leverage matching gift opportunities. We should look at estate plans, because we have to look at the future of our institution. So I think alumni giving wise very critical. We have to look at ways to help our alumni leverage their resources
Right.
to make larger gifts than they've made in the past.
Right.
So it's a continual process. We're continuing to evolve. At Fort Valley State University, we're in the midst of doing our foundational work for hopefully a capital campaign, because we need to raise significant dollars so that we can assure the future of Fort Valley State University.
Do you have a current capital campaign underway right now, or
We're
something in the
not.
works?
We're
Gotcha.
working with our foundation board, because we need their engagement, their leadership, because one of the things that everyone looks at is, what are your leadership doing? Your board, your institutional leadership, and we're very fortunate that we have a very engaged board, and as executive director for the foundation, it's my charge to give them a vision for the future. And so we'll have our foundation board meeting this Friday, and I want to say in advance that our board is going to agree to go into a multi-million-dollar campaign that is going to focus just on them
Right.
as philanthropists,
Right.
as well as volunteers engaging friends, corporate partners, and foundations to support the university. I think once we can get that campaign underway, then we'll look at larger numbers with a university campaign.
That's a good point you're making right there. So obviously, it's very important to have board buy-in and to accomplish whatever you're trying to get done. They ought to be leading the way. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I think your board, then it kind of trickles down
Sure.
to institutionally. One of the things that we did at Fort Valley this year, we kicked off a yearly employee support campaign where our goal is to have 100% participation.
100%.
100% participation, because if you work at Fort Valley State, you have to invest in your own
That's
capacity.
right. That's correct.
And so what we have tried to do is to work with people, knowing that there are different levels, but if we can get people participating, that's the key to it. Because when we go to foundations, we want to make a statement. We have 100% participation from our board, 100% participation from our faculty and staff.
A lot of the students that become new alumni, if you will, are really burdened with a lot of student loan debt.
Absolutely.
And they would love to be able to give more to the university and what have you. How would you characterize legacy giving and why that may be an option for some folk, life insurance policy, if you will, quite frankly.
Well, the largest gifts that you'll see made to most HBCUs are going to come from legacy gifts.
That's right.
Because one of the things, we have not built the kind of wealth in our communities that
Sure.
allow us to write
Right.
large checks, but we do have, and we've gained assets, and our assets have appreciated.
Right.
So we have to leverage those assets. So we have to talk about more sophisticated ways
Right.
of giving.
Right.
And so that's one of the things we're trying to do is partner with financial companies, insurance companies, where we allow them to have a fiduciary responsibility, because I don't want to be the individual
Right.
that is telling the individual how to invest their life savings. But
Right.
there are people that can help them that's in that field that will help them look at their entire portfolios and determine what's important to them. And so we hope their alma maters and institutions that they have affinities for, like a Fort Valley State, will be left in their wills and estate plans. We're very fortunate. June 1st, when I came to work at Fort Valley State, one of our alums had left the college in their wills and estate plans, and it was the largest individual one-time gift to Fort Valley State, $650,000.
Wow. Wow.
And it was a bequest.
Right. See? Yeah. So legacy giving is important, isn't it?
Very much so.
Right. And again, how do we connect with young alumni to get that word out to them just across all the HBCUs?
Well, that's one of the things that's critical. We have to leverage all of our networks.
Right.
We're working at Fort Valley State to clean up our alumni database.
Right.
And so we're using phone-a-thons. We're doing a new alumni directory. We're using social media. Trying to be very effective in the way we reach out to our young alums, because
Right.
we know
Right.
that they communicate through their cell phones
Sure.
and their emails,
That's right.
Facebook, Instagram,
Right.
Twitter.
Right.
And so we're trying to get into those spaces
Right.
to effectively communicate the mission and vision of Fort Valley State.
Right. Hey, thanks a lot for taking time to join the broadcast today.
Thank
and
you
wish
for
you
having
very well. And we know that Fort Valley State is going to lead the way in getting the alumni giving rate up and building your particular endowment.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for the work that you do on behalf of HBCUs.
Thank you. God bless, sir. Take care. All right.